Welcome back, Planet Zoo adventurers, as we are moving on to our next section of our zoo. And yes, it's gone, I wouldn't say it's gone perfectly so far. It definitely hasn't gone perfectly. However, we are going to move on now, and I think we're going to do a bit more of a generic area. Obviously, where we're putting enclosures in, it's very difficult to leave the trees and things around because they're probably not going to be compatible with the animals which are going in there. And for this one, we're doing sort of a crocodile area, so not really themed to a particular continent or anything. We're going to have the crocodiles and the reptiles over in this bit. We're going to as well try and do our first underwater kind of tunnel area, viewing area, and we're going to get the saltwater crocodiles in there, and then we're going to have the other type of crocodile over the other side with a viewing area underneath. Now then, we're going to have a path across the top, and we'll probably enclose that so people don't kind of stand and look, but yeah, let's see how it goes. Let's see how it goes. Now, with crocodiles not being able to jump, I'm not expecting them to go over anything in particular, so I think on the wall front we can probably go for a 2-meter one. I certainly remember when I saw these, seen these animals recently, that there's not a particularly high. The only reason there's a high fence is because stupid people try and climb in. But I think for our purpose we won't have to do that. I think we can go for something a little bit smaller. So we'll start with, I think we'll go for the standard brick one, and we'll put a little brick one around here. Obviously most of it is going to be water. Go. We'll put the gatekeeper over that side. We'll get a few panes of glass in so people can see. So we're going to build the enclosure first, and then we're going to look to drop it and add the other bits of enclosure in afterwards. Oh no. Our poor female lion is about to die of old age. I will say, she's dying of old age. You saw it. So this is what happens when the animal dies. You get a little notification, it comes up, and then a little sort of certificate comes up saying in loving memory of the Musa, and then we call the vet. Now there is a little bit of a hang time here where the other lions sort of walk around the poor dead lion where she's sitting there. If the game knows that she's about to die, you'd like to think the vet would know as well and would automatically be called, but you do have to attend to it, and the vet will then come over and take the lion away. So this was our breeding female, so we will have to look at another breeding female shortly down the line, but I think the male is also getting quite old, so it may be a case now of waiting before doing it. We'll quickly check on the other animals while we're over here. So there's our recent elephant enclosure over here. Right, back over here. So we'll have some water in. I'm going to have quite a lot of water in here, to be fair, because you know, they are predominantly in the water swimming. We've got a couple of little wooden huts for them, and of course we need to put some bedding inside so they can chill out and rest. Not sure how many we're going to have yet. The other thing is, obviously, it doesn't really, you know, there's not a lot of information about social groups until you get the animals and you go through it. So I'm kind of going through, and I'm adopting the animals, putting them in there. We have had issues where some of them have been fighting because there's been wrong sex. Now generally don't put two males in together, to be honest. We tend to go for more females and then a male if we want to breed in one. But of course you can put them on contraception as well, so you can have the kind of dominant male in there and not have them breeding. So as per normal, we'll go through all this and we'll make sure the food and everything's in there, because we get a bit of a chance to get the terrain right without them being upset, whereas we don't really get a chance to get anything else right. Now then, this will be a staff-only path. We definitely need to put water treatment in here, because the water treatment will treat this water which you see here. Now then, as we said, we do also want to do a viewing area. Now we're going to have that right across the front. So we're going to remove this, and then we're going to lower. We're going to have to lower, I think we'll remove, yeah. Right, remove the water first, and then we'll fill in a little bit there so we can have another water pit here. So effectively there'll be two water pits, and this one will go right the way across. Here comes a rat. I'm still amazed by this rain. I think this rain looks absolutely stunning, the way it just sort of settles. And you know, as you can see, it does work. When people go undercover, it doesn't get wet under there, so undercover definitely works. Oh, we got another. No, that's fine. We're cracking on. So again, through here we want to put some glass down. So what you can do is you can go down as normal, you can go across with the glass, and we'll go brick wall up to the top. I think we're going to have to change the terrain very slightly there, which means removing that fence, bring the terrain a little bit flatter, and then bring it down to there. We'll raise this up, because obviously we're going to want water coming up We don't want people kind of squeezing into a 2-metre section when we can have large fences. I assume this will work for the hippos as well. It's something we will try further down the line when we expand our African area. But for now, we just want a little bit of variety, and we want to have this in. So yeah, here we go. So these barriers should act as water safe, resistant sort of thing. So when we place water in here in a second, we'll make sure there's a nice slope down. Okay, we've gone a bit high on that one. There we go. Too high. In fact, we're going to raise it up a bit because I do want it a little bit bigger than what it was. So let's raise that up. Get some water. There we go. And we filled the tank. So we've got a double pool for our saltwater crocodiles, and then what moment in the rain looks like it's going to be another pool, but it's not going to be another pool. It's going to be a walk area. So we need to get the water treatment in because that needs to cover the pool. And of course we are going to need one over the other side. So I think what we'll probably end up doing is building staff paths. So one thing I have noticed, if you have any kind of staff areas, paths or anything like that in the way, you know, the guests hate it. The guests go absolutely mad. It's really something. It ruins their day, completely ruins their day by having staff facilities on show. I don't know, it's not ideal to have them on show when you're at a zoo or anything like that, but I think at a zoo more than a theme park, you kind of appreciate more that there's, keepers that are, oh dear. So there's our other adult female, that's why they've stopped breeding, so we'll have to, bless her, she's gone, we'll get rid of that one. And then the male, I think, isn't going to be far behind. So we're going to hold off getting any more females in there because we actually have 2 female juveniles in there now, which will be growing up soon. And of course, when the male dies, we'll get a new male in and that'll be a new breeding family. So we're going to put the path along here. The terrain tool I don't find as good as Planet Coaster. You have to turn things on and off all the time where it doesn't kind of do what you want it to do. And we'll lower that and we'll come out a bit of an angle here, I think. So I have a nice one along there and then come out here, round to the glass and back across. So we'll change that to brick and we'll change that one to that. There we go. So nice viewing area for them. They'll be able to go down there and look in that one. So we can already probably see that the pond over the back is actually getting a little bit murkier than the one at the front. That's because we've got no water treatment over the back. So we're going to quickly put a staff path around there because these kind of things need to be maintained immediately, and we're going to put power and we're going to put water cleaner over there because this is the one obviously that our people are going to be looking through. So this is the one we need to get absolutely right. The rain's back again. I tell you go a couple of years without seeing the rain, and then it rained for a whole year. Unbelievably, it rained for a whole year. And we're having to change a few mechanic things here as well, where the fences keep breaking. Fortunately, people aren't too worried about giraffes, and the giraffes do just sort of wander. They don't go very far, which is quite good, but you do have to go in and change that. If you leave the mechanic on once a year, you can guarantee these animals go through the fence every single time. Now, same wall we're going to use for the next species. We'll have to make this a bit more. There we go, down, and then we'll put that up, get it all built. There we go. And what we'll do, we'll change those 3 to glass. So this will probably be, at the moment, the only viewing area for this. There we go. So it will be double-sided as you go down there. We'll put a gate on. Obviously, we're going to have to put more facilities around the back here as well. Houses in. I think they use the same houses as the saltwater crocodiles. There we go. Put some hay in. So we'll look for the enrichment items again. These are the things they go to, other than the food, things to play with, different kind of treats, if you will, and it keeps them entertained. So we need to put some of those in, and we'll just see if anything else is available. I highly doubt they can climb. Get some food trays in. Again, we do have water pumps in these as well. There we go. Right, there we go. So we've got 2 enclosures ready for our first set of crocodiles to come in. So the gate goes in there. We're going to connect this staff area to here so they have a walk through. It feels a bit like Disney. It really does feel a bit like Disney, where you kind of have, Disney have the backstage areas where you kind of, where the employees go underneath at Florida. It's actually raised off the ground, so all the tunnels underneath. You never really see employees walking around the park. That's the kind of way you got to think of Planet Zoo. You've got to have the paths well out the way, so that people can not see the employees move from one place to another and not see any facilities. But let's get some saltwater crocodiles in, and these other species as well. I'm not going to try and pronounce it. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to try and pronounce it. But we're going to get them in as well. I'm probably going to have to move that water facility shortly that I've just put in there. And then we'll put some more training centres and vets in over here. So obviously, staff quarters, we've got the big one by the entrance. The big one by the entrance is a great sort of go-to place. However, as the park gets bigger and bigger and bigger, you don't want animals travelling across. As you can see here, we need to balance out the terrain. It is predominantly long grass, this one, so we do need to get rid of the long grass and make them a bit happier. We'll see what plants they can have. Yeah, they can have these. Yep, they can also have these. So we'll fill this in. And you can see the little bar. You'll see it. There we go. A little bar across the top there, which you can just see in shot now. Tells you when you've covered enough. You go over that bar, they'll say there's too much in there. As long as you're in green in that bar, to be fair, you don't have to have much in there. But we want to have a little bit of, I say mystery, we want to have a little bit of sort of foliage for them. Make you look for them a little bit without being kind of blind to what's going on. Now then, they are in there. So let's do the next ones. In they come. Same process applies. We need to sort out the terrain. So we'll add a bit of soil and a bit of sand around here. There we go. On the inside, a little bit of rock down the back. That balances out quite nicely. Get rid of some of the long grass. Replace it with short grass. Have a little bit of soil by the entrance. Right, there are a few things we need to do here. So we do need some plants. We need some plants that are going to fit. Yep, they like these. So we'll have these plants in. There we go. So these actually, when you look at the size of the bar, which you can see at the top of the box now, you can have loads and loads and loads and loads of plants in here. Right the way sort of covering the whole area. Now we won't do that, as long as we're in the green, we won't put too much in. We do want people to see them, although ideally with this one being, you know, kind of the main focus pull is with the viewing area, that people will indeed be able to view these from where they are. So that's the plan anyway. Then they trot, look, they're happy. I think we'll get another one to keep them company. Move it in. There we go. Right, so saltwater crocs are in there. They're obviously not in there. Oh, we got an injured one. So he's already injured. I don't know why he's injured, whether or not he's arrived to us injured. I do wonder whether or not we should put them into quarantine first. I don't know if you can go, something I've got to look at. We go from the trade area to quarantine. Oh, there goes on our line. Bless him. He's gone in the sun. He's gone in the sun. Right, we're a bit short on keepers. We've got a few more keepers in. He's now been taken away, which is good. But for some reason, the line hasn't been picked up yet. Right, so there we go. He's off to the medical facility. We do need to put another medical facility in over there as well. Right, line has been picked up. So we're going to leave it a little bit before getting another one. We'll get another crocodile, I think, in here. Right, and let's have a look. Get another one over here. Water treatment looks good, so people will be able to see it. And then a lion. So we've got 2 female juveniles in here. We're going to wait until they grow to adulthood before putting a male lion in there. Just in case. I don't know whether they will fight or not. Honestly, don't know whether they will. But we'll wait just in case. And we'll just make sure that these guys are happy before we let people in. Now, we do want to do a little bit of building around here. We're going to have more shops. We're going to have some more staff facilities. I think we're going to have a roof over this enclosed area. So let's just have a little play. It's the first time I've used the rock feature. Very similar to Planet Coaster in honesty. And yeah, we can go right over that with the train. So we're going to go right over the train here and build on top of it. That saves a little bit of time and effort, and it allows plenty of space for people to. There we go. So what we'll do, we'll move those rocks. We'll fill that side in. We'll fill in around there. Oh, got a bit high on that. Right, what are these guys doing? Right, there we go. There we go. And we'll have the path. Let's turn the terrain off, or as it doesn't go across. We're going to have to make that a bit bigger. That's definitely not big enough. Let's make that a little bit bigger. We'll go over the enclosure. There we go. So slightly over the enclosure. Sure we can get this. I've said the paths. I don't find the paths very great at all. I think if you put tunneling and terrain on, it should just go over it. I mean, it's like a little dip we've got here, and it's just not going over it. Let's go from this side. Oh, such a pain. It is. Right, there we go. It's connected. So that's our path over to the other side. So you can take either route. Now, we do have a bit of a problem. What are these doing? Where are they? What's going on here? They're just about to reach adulthood, so let's find a... Let's have a look. We'll just wait. So we're just going to speed this up now. We're going to wait for these two to become adults. We'll head back over here. Oh, something's happened. Oh, something's escaped. There's a... The barrier's broken. Okay, so I forgot to change the barrier to a 1 month check. Look at these people run. Oh, the elephant. Oh, the elephants cause carnage. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Oh, well. Okay, so we've just lost... Oh... We've just lost about 300 people then, as the elephant's gone through the fence. So we'll change the elephant fence from mechanic to come monthly rather than yearly. I've got to go around and make sure I change all of these, and we'll put something in this education enclosure as well. That was a... Well, that was a bit of a disaster there. So again, you know, they do suggest you pause the game before doing any building or anything. And we said before, we don't like to pause the game all the time. Sometimes we do. Sometimes we do like to pause it. But we didn't really want to pause the game in order to do the building. And of course, there's guaranteed something else is going to happen when that happens. So there, the elephant's gone through the fence. And that's because the barrier was default 1 year for a mechanic. And yeah, elephants, yeah, as they went through the glass in the last episode and caused a bit of carnage, although people weren't running, this elephant decided he would leave the enclosure and people were running for their life. It's quite amusing that it's only the people around the elephant thing that run for their life and the rest of them just sort of carry on wandering around like nothing's happening. I guess they have to be in contact or see the animal before that happens. But yeah, that's another lesson learned for you there. Now these two, this enclosure here, I think we're gonna get some cockroaches in here. There we go. We'll get a male and female. Why not? We'll get a male and female. We must remember to switch these on this time. We must remember to get the temperatures right and the humidity right. There we go. Make them green. It'll be quite warm. We've killed quite a lot of insects by not realising this, so we'll make sure that's right. Right, line in. Let's close off the side windows so people can only see the front. In fact, we'll leave the back open so it gives a bit of light in. I don't know whether or not we can put a light in here, so we'll have to check. We've not played the game at night yet, to be honest. So I don't really know how that works. Now we're going to add a bit of decoration to this bit, although I think we are going to enclose, I don't know how much we're going to enclose, probably just the tunnel area. We don't really want people standing on there. And we're going to have a nice little entrance to this one as well. And it is, the entrance is something I do want to do for the rest of the park. So yeah, look at this, look. And you can have loads of little effects. Look at these, very similar to Planet Coaster ones in honesty. You know, water jets, a waterfall. So we're going to look at using those much further down the line. I don't think they're going to be used today. How does this fence look? Do I like this fence? Do I like this fence? So this is the fence we're using over by the entrance. I don't think there's not quite enough room there. Not quite enough room. I think what we'll do on this occasion is we are going to try and find a large bush to go in here. Any old bush, to be honest. I'm not too bothered about what bush it is, as long as it's a good size. Well, they're quite nice. Right, there we go. We have a line of these in there. We'll have a nice big tree. What kind of tree? There we go. There's a couple of trees around there, just so when you walk in. Now we'll be a little bit more careful this time, because last time we put the bushes and the trees really, really close to the enclosure and it counted them as being there. Now this is the wall that's going to be going right the way across. So we just put that decoration in. Will we leave the decoration? Not sure we will. Not sure we will. But we're going to go back a bit further so we can get some food in this bit. We've got to make sure that there's plenty of food around. I think we'll go another one high, another layer high before we put... We've got to go in the inside there so it all matches up. There we go. Just remove those. I'll have to stand the outside on that one. Come back across here. I think it's probably going to be a bit of a boring concrete tunnel, this, but... I don't know if we can spice it up a bit. We'll put a few lights in. I don't know whether we're going to be able to spice it up a bit. Let's stick a few windows on there. Ah, yes. Yes, as Cody's just pointed out to me, it does look like a bit of a mouth. So we'll put it as a nice little... We're going to say it's a mouth entrance. That's what we're going to say there, eyes and mouth. And then we will enclose this bit. I think actually we'll have to pull that back slightly because of the path, but... Not worth. I think it's worth putting those in there. Now then, let's get some shops in. So shops, if we haven't gone through them already, are very much the same as what Planet Coasters are. So you know, the standard stuff with the standard characters. I don't think you can have mascots in this one rolling around, which is a bit of a shame. I'd like to see a couple of mascots. And we'll put a little roof on that just so it looks good when you walk in. Nothing too serious. Yeah, there we go. We'll have some leopard print on the front just to tighten it up a bit. I quite like that leopard print. Let's put it across the top as well. There we go. We'll put that in there as well. And then we'll have the log cabin down either side. And it just spices up a little bit. We'll have a little bit of debris around. And that'll just add nicely to the themed area. Now then, we're going to have to put a roof on this. We'll enclose it a little bit more. I'm not sure. Will we put anything around here? Yeah, we'll just put a few wooden blocks, I think, into the ground. Just there we go. There we go. Put a few bit of rocks around. A little bit of shrubbery. Nothing major, to be fair. I think that at the moment we kind of want to get the zoo up and running. We want to see what challenges we're going to face. And then, you know, as we said, with Planet Coaster, it's a case of when a coaster gets old and boring, you've got to replace the coaster. It's not so much the case in Planet Zoo. Whilst it does seem that people really do want to see the new animals when they come in, you know, it's going to be much easier to reuse enclosures and indeed go back and re-theme areas. So I'm really looking forward to kind of building the zoo and then making it better over time. And at the moment, I think we'll stick with this one. Probably for a month or so, and we'll see how it goes, and then we'll hit the challenge mode afterwards. I know Kurt is certainly really wanting to get involved in the challenge mode, but we just want to make a zoo. We want to get used to the animals, we want to get used to what's going on. We do ultimately want to make sure we're making money as well, which is, you know, a real key before we go into challenge mode. I don't think making money is a particular problem on this, but I think certainly streamlining staff, seems like they need quite a lot of staff, might be an issue. So we'll tighten this up a bit for people to go underneath to the tunnel. A couple of trees in here as well. There we go. I think eventually we'll have some signs on here. We'll get rid of the long grass, had a bit of rock in here. I think with Planet Zoo, it just naturally looks better because it's a zoo and it's an outdoor environment than what Planet Coaster does without you putting a theme in. So it just seems to naturally look a little bit better. And I've seen some amazing recreations on here already, and we certainly don't have the editing which we have on Planet Coaster on here in terms of pieces and things. However, there's still a good selection of pieces and people are still making amazing themed areas. And you know, we've still got the Asian area to look at and various other areas to look at as well, but at the moment we're just going to keep this simple. There's a problem with our there's a problem. Alright, we're going to have power. So we're just, the elephant's going to the vet. He's a bit diseased, and we are needing to put more power around here. So I think we'll move this around here now, and we'll add this in to the back area, so no one will be able to see that. We'll add another water generator as well, and then, yep, we've got some power, and we have some people, oh, we have some vendors in there as well, which is great, great, great. Now we're going to connect this, we're going to try it, there we go. We're going to connect this now, and I would expect people to come running over to have a look. That does seem to be the way it works. People come over and have a look. I'm going to put a few lights in here. I've not seen the lights on yet, as I said. Even in dark areas they don't seem to come on. With Planet Coaster they do tend to come on in dark areas and underneath, but here they don't seem to do that. Now that's bringing us to the end of this episode of Planet Zoo, and how hard can it be? Well, yeah, I mean, we've had another escaped elephant which has actually scared guests out the park. We know we've had water filter problems, we've had death of lions. It's definitely ongoing in Planet Zoo. Are you playing Planet Zoo? Are you enjoying the series? What do you think of the game? What else can we do? Leave your comments below. Obviously, please like and subscribe. We're going to stay with Planet Zoo. It is such an enjoyable game to play. I cannot tell you how much fun it is to play this and how much different of a challenge it is of Planet Coaster. And we're going to see you next time.